Hello, Chef Dane, and welcome to Sophia's Cooking Corner. Today we will be making vegan tamales, vegan empanadas, sopapillas, and spicy corn fritters. Join me on this journey. Here are my vegan tamales.
Alrighty, get a pot and let some water boil. Peel your sweet potato. I use an entire sweet potato because mine had some gross areas, and then you're going to want to dice it up into cubes. Alrighty, now you want to boil your sweet potato just until they're nice and tender. While that boils, you want to take 1/4 of an onion and dice it up and put it into a separate bowl. Drain your can of black beans. Add a generous amount of olive oil to a pan for the sauté. Now the recipe called for canned green chilies, but I really like them fresh, so I just took about 6 and chopped those up. Now put your chilies and onion into the pan and saute for a while just until the onions are translucent. Add 1/2 can of black beans and let those cook, and then you can check on your sweet potato, and as long as it's tender, just drain that and then get all the water out. And then you can add it all to one bowl and start mashing. So everything just needs to be cooked enough so it's all tender and can be mashed up. Now add as much cumin as you like to it. I like a lot of cumin. And then you're going to want to add salt to it. And again, as much as you like, just make it to taste. Like I said, taste it to make sure you like it. This is me tasting it, and I don't know if you can tell by my face, but I absolutely loved it. Now add your red sauce of choice. I cut the suggested amount in half just because this is my favorite red sauce and it's insanely hot, so I just didn't want to make it too spicy and hot. Now set aside the filling and start on the mesa tamal. By doing that, you're going to want to add 1/2 your can of corn to a blender. And then just so it can puree, you add about 2 tablespoons of water to get it started. And then this is just me blending it. First blender didn't work, so I had to use this one. So just blend it till it's nice and smooth. Now, once it's nice and pureed, add a little bit of baking powder to the mix. Add your oregano. Add salt. Add your garlic powder, and then you're going to want to mix all of that together. And again, since I'm using a spicier hot sauce, I cut it in half, that's needed, but you're going to want to add that to the corn mixture. Now this is the mesa tamal that you're going to want to use, and you're going to start off and just add a cup to the mix. Then you're going to want to mix it slowly, and it's going to get a little clumpy at first. Then you're going to want to add about a cup or 1/2 cup of vegetable broth just to thin it out a little bit. Now, once you mix and you work with the mesa tamal and the broth, this is about the consistency that you want. You just want it to be pretty sturdy and thick. You can either use parchment paper or corn husks for the wrapping. So the mesa tamal is going to be pretty sticky, so I put some nonstick cooking spray onto a spoon and then shape it into a rectangle right in the middle of the parchment. And then after that, I add a good amount of filling to it just because I like a lot of filling, but you want to make sure that it's right in the center of the mesa. Now for wrapping, you want to make sure the mesa completely covers the filling, and so what I do is I just fold it upwards and then I fold in the sides and then I just roll it from there so that it's nice and tight. Steam them for 1 to 2 hours. Now you can tell that they're done because when you open one, the mesa does not necessarily stick to the parchment paper, and you can pick it up and it is like a nice and consistent dough, and it is like fully cooked and it doesn't have any holes in it. And this is your finished product. They're so good.
Next, spicy corn fritters.
So first I like to prepare my vegetables for this dish, so add your corn to a separate bowl. Next, you're going to want to cut up your jalapeno and bell pepper and then add those to your bowl of corn just so your veggies are all together. Next, add your scallions to that bowl. Add cilantro and then set aside. In a separate bowl, you're going to want to add your flour and other dry ingredients. Next, add baking powder. Now add your salt. Add your sugar to the mix. Finally, add coriander and paprika to your dry mixture. In another bowl, beat 2 eggs well so that you have a solid consistency. Add the soy milk to the eggs. Finally, add your lime juice to all the wet ingredients. And again, just make sure you mix these all together so it's nice and thorough for when you add it to the dry goods. Thoroughly mix your wet and dry ingredients before you add all of the other ingredients, just so you get a consistent and thick batter. Add in your chopped vegetables and spices and try and fold those in so it makes a consistent mixture. Again, you want to mix to make a nice and thick mixture so it's kind of dough-like but still a little bit runny. Next, you fold in the cheese. David, I cannot teach you everything. You fold it in. Fold in the cheese. Now you take a tablespoon and you put it into the vat of oil just to fry it a little bit, but not till it's golden brown, just so it is a little bit solid. For the next step, you'll put it on a tray of parchment paper and you'll cook it for 20 minutes at 350 degrees and just bake it so it's thorough. Now, while that cooks, you'll want to make your sour cream dip that goes with it. So you'll take your sour cream and put it into another separate bowl. And then after that, you'll just add in some of your cilantro to the mixture. Make sure you get all of it because, it sticks. And then just add in some of your lime juice to it. After the cilantro, you'll want to add in your 2 teaspoons of cumin. And then you'll want to just add in your clove of garlic. And so it'll be pretty thick. You're supposed to put it in a food processor, but I found that just mixing it with a whisk made it still a nice consistency. And so this is about the consistency that I had, and it tasted really nice still. And now this is just the final product, and the cilantro cream sauce, they really paired well with the corn fritters, so I highly suggest pairing them.
Now here is how I prepared the vegan spinach and cheese empanadas.
First, add baking powder to your flour. Next, add salt to that. Now add melted vegan butter right to the middle. Alright, now you want to add your non-dairy milk of choice and make sure you stir completely so it makes a nice firm dough. Now once your dough is nice and mixed, chill it for about 20 minutes. Now I only used half an onion, but next you're going to want to dice up your onion and your garlic cloves and add them together. Add those to a pan of oil and saute for just a little bit before you add your spinach. Now you're going to want to add your frozen spinach to the saute mix and make sure you season as you like with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Time to add that cheese, baby, but make sure it cools first. Now roll out dough and cut into circles like our beautiful chef. Now add about a tablespoon of filling into the middle of the circle, and then you're going to want to close it off in the shape of a crescent. And then I patted it down with a fork, but just make sure that you make it so it's closed all the way and none of the filling is coming out from the sides. Add your turmeric oil and milk mixture and bake at 400 for about 20 minutes and you've got these beautiful and tasty babies.
For my next trick, I'll be showing you how I made my sopapillas.
So first you're going to add your flour in and then add a little bit of baking powder to that, and then you're going to want to add some of your salt and then melt some vegan butter and add that to it, and then after that add some warm water to the bowl, and then after that you're just going to want to mix it all together to form a nice firm dough. Cover your dough once she's done so she can rest just for a little bit, After about 20 minutes, roll out that dough, and then you're going to want to cut it into small, about 6-inch rectangles so you can fry them. Add your dough into a pan of hot frying oil, and then you're going to want to cook them till they're golden brown, and then let them dry in a bowl with a bunch of paper towels so they can drain. And then I like to add a ton of powdered sugar on the top just so it makes them a little sweeter, and then you just want to serve them right away. Now you may be able to tell from my face that the master chef was a little tired and morale was low, but these sopapillas saved the day and boosted my mood.